Massmart was founded as the South African branch of Dutch retailer Makro. It also trades as Game Builders Warehouse, DionWired, Cambridge and CBW. It is now 51% held by Wal-Mart and has a market cap of 36.4 billion rand, a dividend yield of 2.4% and a price to earnings ratio of 30. So Massmart, Wal-Mart's really an entry point into Africa.
Yeah, so that's what Wal-Mart thought. They decided at a point that they wanted to put a foot down here. They are already in China. They have an enormous business in Mexico and a number of other countries. So, this is their bridgehead. And it's clear that they're not just buying this and then they're going to go and shop for something somewhere else. They want this business to be their main operational company into the region, because we know that they've already got Massmart, that is, stores around African capitals. I don't think it's big yet. It's only about 10% or something of turnover, and particularly focused on game stores, which they've decided is the brand that they were going to go with first. And it's very much a general retailer, not food. I don't think it's mostly sort of durables, traded sort of stuff. So I think it's got good legs. The management team, young, dynamic. They are not satisfied with just, again, doing the sort of knock and drop type approach. So I think it's one that one could certainly get in, because if you're a big fund manager based in Boston, which African stock are you going to buy? The one that belongs in part to a company that you're extremely familiar with and that you know is as hard as nails and is the world's best and biggest retailer.
So Wal-Mart, a good partnership. Well, it's a big tick for consumers.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really was a big tick for the African consumer when Wal-Mart decided to come and enter with such a big acquisition. However, the African play in Wal-Mart has definitely taken a backseat at the moment. They're definitely first focusing on integrating the systems of Wal-Mart and Massmart together, and they're doing that in South Africa. They're also doing a lot of work on rolling out the new food retailer that's within Game, Food Co, I believe they call that. And that is where the biggest focus is at the moment. That will cause them to have a bit pressure on margin as the product mix change, and because food just trades at the lower margin than the general merchandise. But in the long term run, yeah, I think as an African play, this can be very exciting. But this is not the African play at the moment. This is probably a 5 to even 10-year view.
So we'll have to wait on that one. Paul, looking at the share price at this stage, pretty flat. It's not
yeah,
really
look, that's an interesting chart, because right there in halfway through 2010, you see that jump, because that's when the offer came in from Wal-Mart at 148 Rand, and then for a while we thought it was going to be a wholly owned total delisting. Then they agreed to leave half of it on. Took forever to get the South African government to agree that it was a good idea. Lots of fighting. In fact, to some extent, those fights still continue. Government's still trying to force them to do more local sourcing and so on. But I agree with Stefan, absolutely. It's they've kind of taken their eye off the ball. The results, in fact, in the last 2 years have been rather shoddy, and it's because they've had all these costs associated with the deal that they've still been pushing through. So it looks expensive, like a price-to-earnings ratio of 30, and people are like, why should I pay so much? But I think the idea is, if you're a long-term investor, you've got a young team that's got the road in front of them still. I know that they're not alone. I mean, some of the other retailers have also got the same kind of opportunity. But I think, I like them. We've owned them since they were at 26 Rand in our client portfolios. And we've been happily holding.
So you're very, very happy.
And when they bought half of our shares at 148, we used the proceeds to buy back, into the company, and that was that. So, we're just carrying on.
So hot.
Hotly hot.
Stefan, hot or not?
At this valuation, unfortunately, I'm a bit more focused on the short to medium term, but on this valuation, I'm not hot on this one.
So one hot and one not for Massmart.